Wow, look how high the sun is. Guys, it's 9 o'clock p.m. and look how high the sun's, like up there behind those clouds. It's not even sunset yet. Welcome to Calgary, Alberta. Well, I'm in Alberta. I'm not in Calgary right now, but I'm in Alberta. And here in Canada, all across Canada, in the summers, the sun is pretty high even at 9 or 10 o'clock, right? Probably in your country, the sun sets at 6, maybe 5. Let me know down in the comments. What time does the sun set in your country? I love Canadian summers. If you have a chance to come here to Canada and experience the fresh air, nice late sunsets, then you are most welcome to come to Canada, guys. But you know, every few months I make a video warning you that we are headed for an SHTF moment. Okay, we are headed, that means we're going toward an SHTF moment. What does that mean? Remember last year when I bought 100 cans of beans? The reason I bought all those beans was because I was preparing for an SHTF moment. All right, so what does SHTF mean? Well, it's an acronym, okay? An acronym is a bunch of letters that stand for words, right? Like UN, right? What does UN stand for? It stands for United Nations, right? So you could say, you know, the UN is meeting this week to do all their dumb things. I don't even know what those guys do. Just a bunch of idiots meeting to talk about how to take people's money away from them. Is that what the UN is? U stands for uneducated. What is N? I don't know. Can't think of an N word, guys. Anyway, so UN, United Nations, it stands for that, right? Or USA. U stands for United. S stands for States. A stands for America. United States of America. Sometimes the small words like of are just kind of like, they're there, but they don't have a letter in the acronym. Okay, so USA, it's not USOA, it's USA. The word of doesn't get a letter because it's not a very important word, right? Just a little word. You can just take it out of the acronym, right? So USA stands for United States of America. Did you know that acronym? If you didn't know that acronym, you are an idiot and you should work for the UN. You should stop being an idiot and become smart like yours truly. Yours truly means me, right? So if you hear someone say yours truly, that means they're talking about themselves, me, okay? So, acronym. Now you know what an acronym is. There are many acronyms, right? Do you know any acronyms? Let me know some acronyms. So many acronyms. You know, I can't think of anything. Now I'm looking around here. Do I see any acronyms? So many common acronyms people use, like OMG, right? Or JK, just kidding, or like, you know, I don't know. Everybody uses acronyms stand for some words. It's a letter that stands for a word, okay? So SHTF. What does that mean? Let me know if you know what that means down in the comments. If you know what that means, smash a like. Guys, my path just came to an end here. Look at this. There's a scooter here. And I was just walking along this path, and it just comes to a end. Now I've got to walk on this gravel. All right, so SHTF, it stands for, well, do you know what the S word is? The S word is considered a bad word in English. You know what that word is. It rhymes with, what does it rhyme with? Can't think of any rhymes. I was gonna say it rhymes with hit. Got an S. Hit with an S in front. Shh. Usually, you know, it's kind of cheating if you pick a word, like a rhyming word that contains the word itself, right? So the word hit, I was thinking, well, that's actually inside the S word. S-H-I-T. Sometimes people take out the vowel in bad words and they replace it with something else, like an exclamation mark or something like that. Now, why is that a bad word? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's bad because our society is retarded. Our society is retarded, guys. Now, I didn't say people are retarded, right? The word retarded is, well, it's a pejorative. Now, the word pejorative means a kind of word that is kind of used to slander someone, or to kind of like to accuse someone or to belittle someone. If you don't like someone, right, what words do you use? You might use some like racist language, you might use some like really kind of like just mean words, okay? Those words are called pejoratives, okay? So, you know, a word like what word did I just use? Retarded. Back, if you read books back from, or if you talk to like elderly people here in Canada or the US or whatever, they often use that word actually. Back in those days, guys, I'm out of breath already. Man, I'm just walking slowly and I'm already out of breath. Better get in shape. I'm so out of shape. It's ridiculous. Guys, just look at that great sunset. That's shaping up to be a nice sunset. If I keep walking and talking for like 20 minutes, I think we'll see a nice sunset there. So maybe we'll turn this into a long form video, just a walk and talk. Right? I love hanging out with you guys. Some birds hanging out in this tree. I like hanging out with you. These birds like hanging out with the tree, in the tree. They're tree huggers. Do you know what that word is? That's a pejorative. Okay, if you call someone a tree hugger, what are you saying? You're saying that, you know, someone is an environmentalist, but you're saying it in a way that you don't like them, right? So, guys, which way should we? Let's go this way. All right. What is an environmentalist? An environmentalist is a person who likes the environment and who tries to take care of the environment. Now, for people with really extreme positions on environmental issues, like let's say Greta Thunberg, you know who Greta Thunberg is, right? You know, she has some very extreme views on the environment. We need to do this, otherwise the world is going to end in 5 years. Just a few days. So she made a prediction back in 2018, I believe, that the world was going to end in 5 years. Well, now we're at 5 years. I think a few weeks ago we hit the 5-year mark since she made that tweet. And so she deleted that tweet, right? Because look at this. I mean, we're still here. the world really hasn't changed that much in 5 years. I mean, like, you know, if let's say 5 years ago you were walking down this pathway here, it would look exactly the same, right? These trees, everything is pretty much the same as it was 5 years ago. Okay, so the environment didn't change that much. All right, so Greta Thunberg said that if we don't, whatever, stop using gas in our, is that bus gas? Huh? Probably. Runs on, all these vehicles run on some form of fuel, right? Fossil fuels, they call it. So if we don't stop our use of fossil fuels, the world is going to end in 5 years. That's a pretty extreme view. So she's an environmentalist, and you know, I could say Greta Thunberg is a tree hugger. And if I don't like her, if I want to kind of like, you know, maybe make fun. Now, tree hugger is not a super bad word. You know, it's not like a swear word or anything. It's just, you know, if you call someone a tree hugger, that means they're it's almost kind of a term for, you know, like some of those hippie people who actually just live in trees to prevent them from being cut down. So like, you know, let's look at this nice tree, right? If I hug this tree, if I'm an environmentalist, I'm like hugging the tree, right? A tree hugger, someone who kind of like loves the trees, and I love trees actually, so I'm a tree hugger. But the dog is trying to make a contribution in this video. It's trying to teach you dog language. I'm trying to teach you English. He's trying to teach you Doglish. So guys, it probably wouldn't be a good idea to be a tree hugger here in Canada these days, because you've probably seen on the news the forest fires are burning down all our forests. See a nice bird over there, guys. It's a loud bird. Let's go pay that bird a visit. So yeah, guys, if you're a tree hugger, imagine being a tree hugger and the tree catches on fire and burns you to a crisp. Turn you into a shish kebab. Imagine if I was in a tree and the tree caught fire. It would roast me, turn me into a mark kebab. Would you like a mark kebab? Oh, the bird just flew away, guys. Kind of a nice, kind of a black bird with a yellow head. Actually, I posted a picture of that bird on Instagram a few days ago. So if you, on my story on Instagram, so if you, I think I did. So if you're not following me on Instagram, just search for madenglishtv and you will see that beautiful yellow headed bird in my stories, recent stories. Okay, so guys, yeah, mark kebabs, shish kebabs, tree hugger, what were we talking about here? SHTF. See, I'm going kind of on a roundabout way to get to SHTF. Think about all the words I've already taught you. Yours truly, tree hugger, acronym, pejorative. You're learning tons of vocabulary, right? That's what you come to Mad English TV. METV. Hey, there's another acronym. METV stands for Mad English TV. TV is also an acronym. It stands for television. TV is short for television. Right, so, you know, a lot of people don't know what acronyms actually mean, because the acronym is more common than the words. For example, I asked one of my students a few days ago if she knew what CEO means. What does it stand for? She knew what a CEO is, right? A CEO, like the leader of a company, right? But I said, what does that acronym stand for? What do those letters stand for? CEO. She had no idea, right? So very often people know these acronyms, they know what they mean, they just don't know what the words are. So CEO stands for, guys, there's so many nice birds around here. I love it, guys. So CEO stands for Chief Executive Officer. Okay, chief kind of means the boss, right? Chief Executive Officer. There's also a title which is CFO. That stands for Chief Financial Officer. Maybe I should make a acronym. CTO, Chief Tree Hugger Officer. I'm the leader of the tree huggers, guys. So anyway, let's get back to the point of this video, is SHTF. Okay, I already told you what the S means. It's a bad version of the word crap. Now, why did I say it's bad? I don't know, actually. I really don't know, because our society, like I said, is kind of retarded, right? So don't use the word retarded to talk about people. That's seen as very kind of rude, offensive. But if you go back in the day, people, if you read, you know, books or articles written like, you know, maybe like 50 years ago or something, you will see that word. Now, what does it mean? I didn't even tell you what it means. Okay, the word retarded is like it means mentally handicapped. Okay, so what I was saying is our society is retarded. It means our society is kind of like mentally handicapped, right? We don't, like, why would the word S word be a bad word? For what reason? The word crap is not seen as a swear word. The word poop is not a swear word. The word dung is not. What other words? There's so many words for, you know, doo-doo. All these. It reminds me, when I was a teacher in China, I had a student named Doo-doo. I don't know why Chinese parents always give their kids these names that are like it's too, like a word repeated twice, like you know, Tintin, or, you know, I don't know. Anyway, this kid was named Doo-doo, and he was an interesting child. A very interesting kid. But anyway, guys, so don't use that word retarded. I just use it to teach that to you, okay, what it means. It's better not to use that word at all. Okay, it's kind of a pejorative. It's not even good probably to say that our society is retarded. I just wanted to teach you that word, okay? So anyway, I don't know why the S word is bad. If you know, let me know in the comments. Who knows? Okay, so that's what the S stands for. Now, H. SHTF. H stands for hits. Hits. Okay, hit or hits. T stands for the. I don't know why it gets its own letter. It's a small word the. Remember, in USA, the word of didn't get its own letter, but in this acronym, it does get its own letter. Sometimes those small words like T or of, sometimes they get a letter in an acronym, sometimes they don't. I don't know. Your choice. If you're making the acronym, you can choose whether to put it in there or not. I don't know. Anyway, so SHTF means fan, okay? So when the S, I'll just use the word crap, okay? In case you get offended if I use the S word. I don't want you to get offended. So if the crap hits the fan, now what is a fan? A fan is something that, you know, keeps you cool in the summer. You know, if you're sweating, you turn on your fan. You can have a ceiling fan, or you can have, you know, one of those normal, you know, fans that you push the button and it's kind of, it maybe it kind of oscillate, what's the word I'm looking for? Oscillates? Which kind of goes back and forth, right? And so if you're lying in bed and the fan is doing that, then every like 5 seconds you get a kind of a blast of cold air and then it goes away and then it comes back. So anyway, that kind of fan, right? Now if you imagine taking a bunch of crap and, you know, throwing it against the fan, what would that do? It would just spray crap everywhere. So it's not a good thing, right? It just means chaos. It would just be chaos. You imagine you're in your room, in your house, you have a fan and someone takes some crap and throws it against the fan, it would just spread crap everywhere. That, okay, get that mental image. Now think about something, an event that happens in society that just messes everything up, that just it causes mass confusion and chaos, just total chaos. I mean, look at this, everything is peaceful here in Canada, right? You know, people are abiding by the laws, all these nice drivers and the people living in these, you know, places and stuff, they're all calm and relaxed. But I'm warning, and every few months I make a video warning you guys, and usually in these videos I teach you a new type of word like apocalypse. Remember when I was in BC a couple years ago, I made a video about this type of stuff, apocalypse, you know, warning about the coming, something bad happening in the future, right? Now stay tuned for the next video, because I'm going to teach you the meaning of the word black swan, the term black swan, okay? That's a similar idea. But in this video, it's about SHTF. So the crap hits the fan. That means some event, something that happens, okay, that causes like kind of the collapse of society, or just mass chaos in society. Okay, so here's an example sentence. I could say, you know, when the crap hits the fan. Okay, now remember, the word isn't crap, it's the S word, right? When the S hits the fan, right, then I'm going to head to my bug out location, right? Remember a few months ago I taught you guys the word bug out? Bug out means a place where you go when society collapses. Okay, so if you have a bug out bag, like a backpack, you have stuff in there that will help you survive in a crisis, some collapse of society. You might want, you know, some just some stuff in there, like maybe a lighter, some matches, maybe a hatchet, maybe an army, some sort of a knife, a hunting knife, you know, some food, some chocolate bars, or, you know, whatever kind of will keep you alive if you have to hit the woods, right? So if you have a spot where you're going to go to when society collapses, that's called a bug out spot, a bug out location. Do you have a bug out location? I don't have a bug out location, but imagine if like the electricity goes, right? I mean, no, you have no electricity, no water. Everybody's going crazy at the shopping, like stores. Like right over there is a Superstore, one of the biggest grocery stores here in Canada. Anytime you see a big like Canada flag like that, it's likely that there's a Superstore right there. Okay, so just keep an eye out if you're going across Canada and you see a Canadian flag. You might, if you're hungry, you should stop in there, get a bit of food for yourself, right? So, or if you're preparing your bug out bag, you might want to hit up that store. Hit up means to just go and visit that store and buy some bug out food, like some granola bars, some raisins, some kind of non-perishable food items, right? So I'll try to link that video up somewhere here if you haven't seen it. But guys, I'm just walking around in circles on this kind of nice, kind of a lookout spot here. It's I just kind of love places like this where it's kind of like you got some water and some birds and ducks and whatever. I love the smell of these places. It's kind of nice. So I'm just kind of hanging out here. So guys, what was I talking about? The bug out location. Oh yeah, so when the crap hits the fan, I'm gonna go to my bug out location. That's a sample sentence. Okay, now I actually don't have a bug out location. Do you have one? If there was no, suddenly let's say there was no electricity, no water, no, like if you couldn't buy food, let's say you went to the store, everybody was like looting, Looting means when you just go into a store and you steal stuff, right? Don't loot. It's a bad thing. Looters are not great. I've seen a lot of videos recently of looters in the US. It's kind of a group of people just go into a store, break into a store and like steal a whole bunch of stuff and like just take off, and they're not good people. So don't be a looter. Guys, I think that sun is, oh, it's not sunset yet, but I'll just give you a shot there. It's kind of turning nice and orange. Let me put my camera up a bit. Like, isn't that nice? All right, so guys, SHTF means that when that happens, when the crap hits the fan. Okay, so that's what that means. It's talking about a state of chaos in society, a moment when that happens. So very often people talk about an SHTF moment. Okay, it's when that when that reality happens. It could be, I don't know, whatever would cause that, where people kind of go crazy. There's looting, there's violence, there's no electricity, when society just collapses. Okay, that is an SHTF moment. That's what that means. SHTF, when the S hits the fan. Just sends crap flying everywhere. All right, so that's what that means. And the reason I'm teaching that to you now is because I've heard it in a bunch of videos recently where people use that. Well, very often it's a very common acronym now, because people are, you know, there's so much stuff in the news, right? You know, anything could happen. There could be a military coup, right? Or you know what the word coup means? Not coop. A coop is a place where chickens live. Okay, a chicken coop. This is spelled C-O-U-P, and it's pronounced coup, a military coup. Coup d'etat. Coup d'etat. What does "ta" mean? Probably French. Coup d'etat. Whatever. I know what it means. I don't know what that word means. Ta. Do you know what that means? Day. Coup d'etat. It's a foreign term, right? Sometimes in English we use terms that we don't really know what they mean, but we know what they mean. A coup is when very often it happens when like an army general decides to take over the country. You know, usually countries have like an elected leader, maybe the president or the prime minister of the country, and the army general, is supposed to obey the wishes of the elected representative of the people, right? But sometimes they don't do that. Sometimes they say, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I am going to become the leader. Guys, look at these flies. All these tiny little, I don't know what they are. These tiny little flies buzzing here. They always stay in like their group. You can see sometimes just a bunch of these things. Remember on my cross Canada trip, happened all the time where I'd get attacked by these little bugs. Just a whole army of these little bugs just start buzzing around my head. Anyway, guys, a country, I mean, imagine if a really developed country like Canada or the US, or some other countries, let's say in Europe, you know, we might be used to hearing about coups in Africa, but nobody expects a coup to happen here, right? But sometimes these things can just come out of nowhere. Sometimes you would think, oh, that country is really developed and nothing like that is ever going to happen. How do you know? Stuff can happen, crazy things happen, right? So there could be a coup even here in Canada. There could be a coup anywhere, right? And so if that were to happen, what would that do to society? How would people react in that situation? Would they go crazy? Would they go to the bank? Would there be a run on the banks? A run on the bank means when people go and take out their money in cash because they don't trust the system, the financial system. They think they think something's going to collapse. The whole financial system's going to collapse. So they run to the bank. So what it means, you run on the bank, right? You run to the bank, you take your money out, and when everybody does that, society just collapses. Or because most of the money in, let's say, Canada, right, isn't paper money. It's just digital money. A very small percentage of money is real money, is cash. Okay, so if everybody went to the bank, their bank, and tried to take out their money today, they wouldn't be able to. Even let's say you want to take out $10,000, try it. Go to your bank today and say, I want $10,000. They're probably not going to give it to you. You probably have to order it because maybe they don't have it at their branch, right? So like, money these days is all just digital. It's not real money. That's why our system is at risk of, I don't know how many people know this in Canada. Do you know it? Did you know this? That most money is just an idea. It's a number in a bank account. It's not real money. So you can't take it. If you tried to go to the bank and take it, you might be able to take out $10,000. But if suddenly 2 or 3 people started doing that, going to the same branch, there would be no money there, right? So people know this, and so they get worried about this. So they go and they take out their money when they can, because they know that they might not get their hands on the money if they wait, right? It's just like a product. Like, let's say something happens and everybody's buying up all the toilet paper, and you realize, okay, there is going to be a shortage of toilet paper. And I couldn't believe it when I came back from Thailand in 2020, probably February 2020, early February, like February, March, around that area. I went into some grocery stores. There was no toilet paper. Why? Everyone had bought all the toilet paper. There was a run on the grocery stores, a run on the toilet paper, you could say, right? So people just bought all the toilet paper, and then what was there left? None. You couldn't buy any toilet paper. I remember seeing these stores here in Canada. I've never seen this before, where the whole toilet paper aisle is empty. None. Have you ever witnessed that before? So when people get spooked means scared. When they get scared, they do crazy stuff. They go to the store and they start buying all the pickles or the ketchup or the toilet paper. I don't know, whatever they think is valuable. They just go and buy all of it. Or they go take out all their money from the bank, right? So if everybody starts behaving this way, a society comes crashing down. And there's a loud truck over there. All right, so anyway, so it's very easy to envision an SHTF moment happening. Like I said, it could happen in any country, it could happen any time. And I've been warning, guys, there's a little fly on my hand. Look at that thing. I'll be nice, I won't kill it. Be an environmentalist today, like an animal lover. I'll be a tree hugger. You can say down in the comments, you can say, Mark, you're such a tree hugger. So guys, are you ready for an SHTF moment? If you're not ready, I'm not even ready. It's so hard to get ready when you don't know how to, you don't own land, right? The best people, are like farmers. Farmers usually live out off the grid a little ways. Like, the grid means like when you're connected to everything, you're near everything. You got your water, you got everything coming to your house, electricity. Very often farms in Canada don't have water. They have to bring water in with a truck, a tanker truck. They have to order water, and then they have kind of like a tank in their house somewhere where they put the water, right? And then that lasts for a few months or whatever, and then they have to order more water, right? So they're kind of a little bit off the grid. So they probably are pretty well prepared to survive. You know, they might have a garden, they might have some animals, they might have some weapons to protect themselves. They kind of live a little bit further away from society. For me, I don't have a farm. You know, like I said in that bug out video, I could probably get to the forest. I could drive in my truck, go to the forest here it's not far from Calgary. It's only like maybe an hour drive away, or even 40 minutes until you're in the woods. I could have enough gas. I probably have enough gas in my truck at any given time to hit the woods. But then what would I do when I get there? I'm not really an outdoorsman. I don't know much about wilderness survival. Do you know anything about wilderness survival? That's a good skill to have if we are confronted with an SHTF situation, right? So if you know how to do some hunting, or you know how to like kind of like see what plants are edible, you know, what berries you can eat, that type of stuff, how to make a shelter for yourself. And I don't know, I don't really know how to do any of that stuff, so I'm pretty much screwed. But and I'm sure most of these people, you know, your average Canadian wouldn't know anything about that either. They probably know as much as I do, and I know barely anything. So people are kind of screwed. Nobody's prepared for this type of stuff. Are you prepared? What would you honestly do? Tell me honestly, what would you do in an SHTF situation? I don't even know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. I'm woefully unprepared. Woefully means really badly. You know, it's not good. It's a shame. It's a shame on me for being unprepared. I'm very unprepared. I'm woefully unprepared. Are you woefully unprepared? Let's see, is this an acronym? No, it's just lynx. Lynx is a kind of animal in Canada that lives out in the woods. It's kind of like a small lynx. It's like a cat. It's like a big, imagine like a big cat, kind of with weird ears. So that's the name of a security company, I think, or fence manufacturer maybe. They build the fences, I don't know. But a lynx is an animal that is it's out in the Canadian woods. It's like a big cat. Have I seen a lynx in real? Yeah, I think so. But they're not that common. I haven't seen that many. Guys, I'm just looking at that sunset there. I don't know if you can see it properly in my camera, but it's very kind of nice. And it's not even not even sunset yet. It's 9:30, and we're not even at that sunset yet, guys. So sun probably will set around maybe 9:45 or 10. Yeah, maybe around 10. So it's June 27th, I think, today. We're at the end of June, so that's what you can expect here in Canada, anywhere in Canada, right? Because almost all the major cities are kind of along the south part of Canada, right? So everywhere is pretty much the same. You'll have nice long evenings like this. It's beautiful, guys. So hopefully we don't have an SHTF moment. I'm not wishing for it. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm telling you, get ready, because I'm telling myself, Mark, what are you gonna do in this situation? I think honestly I'd stand a better chance of survival in India than I would in Canada. I don't know. Let me know, guys. Should I escape the country? Should I escape to India? Or where should I escape to? I think I have a better chance of survival overseas. Now, if it happens in the summer, I might be able to survive in Canada for a while. But the problem is in the winter, It's so cold. If you don't have heating, you're gonna die. Absolutely, unless you're really prepared, unless you know what you're doing. If there's no like water, food, all that stuff in the winter, how would you do that in the winter? Living out in the forest, like, you have to make friends with someone who knows what they're doing. That would be the best asset. Okay, the best thing you could do is make friends with someone who knows a lot about wilderness survival. All right, guys, take a look at this cool little bike. Isn't that awesome? It says here, City of Airdrie. City of Airdrie, that's where I am right now. Yeah, there's a nice yellow bike. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Only got one handlebar. It's all right. You only need one handlebar to ride a bike, not drive a bike. Okay, very often people make that mistake. If something has two wheels, you ride it, you don't drive it. Okay, so you ride a bike, you ride a motorbike. But if you say you drive a motorbike or you're driving your bike, it's not a big deal. People say that, but the correct thing is, what's that noise? Oh, here goes that guy. The correct term is to ride a bike, to drive a car, drive a plane. No, not drive a plane. You fly a plane. What about a train? You ride a train. What is the driver? What does he do? If you're driving the train, what's that word? I don't even know. If you're driving a train, if you're a train driver, do you say I'm driving a train? Because if you say I'm riding a train, that kind of means you're a passenger. That implies you're a passenger. Okay, or if you say I'm riding on a plane, no, I'm flying on a plane. So the pilot flies the plane, and also the passengers fly on the plane. What would a train be? I'm piloting this. I don't know, guys. I don't know what the word is. Let me know what do you think the word is for a train? If you are the train engineer, the engineer of the train, kind of like the pilot, the captain of the train, what are you doing? Are you driving the train? I'll have to think about it for a bit. We're not confronted with that situation in most of the time. I've never driven a train, so I don't even know. I've ridden on a train, but I've never driven one. I've never piloted. No, I've never been a captain. I don't know what the word is. What's the verb? Anyway, let me know down in the comments. But anyway, guys, there's our long form video walk and talk. Let me know, do you like these videos? It's kind of nice on days like this where it's kind of peaceful, where there's not a lot of wind ruining the audio of the videos. So evenings like this are kind of nice to do a walk and talk, kind of a long form video. I did one of these videos a few days ago talking about UFOs. All right, so I kind of like these videos. Sometimes let me know if you want some more of them. Sometimes people ask me to make long videos. Sometimes people say, Mark, don't make long videos, make really short videos. You can't make everyone happy, right? So I try to make a bit of both. Some long ones, some short ones. So guys, with that, I'll sign off, and there you have it.